Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to start with the last topic of unit number 3, that is nth roots of unity. So this topic is related to finding roots of a polynomial, but that polynomial is a special polynomial, and that polynomial is given by the equation x raised to n is equal to 1. So this polynomial, if you write it in our usual notation, it will be x raised to n minus 1. Okay, so we are talking about this polynomial. uh, so uh, you can observe that the degree of this polynomial is n, so therefore we are going to have how many roots to this polynomial? We are going to have exactly n complex roots, and therefore it is said nth roots of unity. Now nth comes from where? Since the polynomial of degree n is there, and unity comes from where? Since we are finding nth roots of unity, unity stands for 1. Okay, so therefore the name of the topic is nth roots of unity. So over here we are going to find nth roots of 1, right? But in other words, we are going to find roots of the polynomial x raised to n minus 1. Okay, and if we equate it to 0, what we will get? X raised to n is equal to 1, right? So therefore over here I have said that the roots of x raised to n is equal to 1 are called as nth roots of unity, and these roots are given by this equation. Okay, that is cos of 2m pi upon n plus I sine, it is I over here, complex number I sine 2m pi upon n. So as you already know that how to represent a complex number. So complex number is represented in the form a plus ib, where this a is a real number and this b is also a real number. So this polynomial is having complex roots, so therefore the roots are in this form, where this is a real part and this is a imaginary part of our root. And how these are n roots, that is decided with the values of m. So if you put one value of m, you are going to get one root. Remember, value of m starts from 0 and it goes up to what? N minus 1. These are how many values? These are n values, right? Because we are starting from 0. Okay, so for each value of m we are going to get one root. So therefore over here just I have written that n roots by putting the value of m 1 by 1. So if you put m is equal to 0, you will get alpha 0. So I am calling that root as alpha 0, and it is cos 0 plus I sine 0. Now you already know that sine 0 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. Therefore alpha naught or alpha 0, you can say, will be 1. Now if you put m is equal to 1, so in this equation what you are going to get? Cos of 2 pi upon n plus I sine 2 pi upon n. The same thing I have written here, and I am calling it as alpha 1. Now if you put m is equal to 2, what you will get? Cos of 4 pi upon n plus I sine 4 pi upon n. So same thing I have written here, and I am calling it as alpha 2, and you go on continuing in this way, and final value that we are going to put here is n minus 1, and therefore this is our alpha n minus 1. So these are our n roots. Remember, we are starting from 0, that is alpha 0, and we are going up to alpha n minus 1. So these are n roots. Now this is our trigonometric table, which will be essential for finding the nth roots of unity. So you already know this table. So just for simplicity, I have written everything here. So this is 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, and these values are in radian: 0 radian, pi by 6 radian, pi by 4 radian, pi by 3, and at last pi by 2. And how to remember this table? This is the trick over here. I have represented it with the help of a green pen. So what you do is, first of all, write down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 everywhere. Then you divide that by 4 and simply put under roots. Okay, and whatever values you are going to get, that will be our values of sine. So 0 upon 4 is 0, so therefore over here you are having 0. 1 upon 4 is half. 2 upon 4 is equivalent to 1 upon root 2. Root 3 upon 4 is same as root 3 by 2, and over here it is 1. Now just you write down the values, okay, in the reverse way. That will give you the values of cos. So this table will be required. Now next theorem comes is De Moivre's theorem. Just I will spell it for you. DE dash Moivres. De Moivre's theorem. So this theorem is very essential for us because we are going to write our root in special notation, and that notation comes from this De Moivre's theorem. So see, what does the theorem say? Cos k theta plus I sin k theta is equal to whatever k you see. You can see that the angle over here for cos is k theta, and for sin also it is k theta, obviously, and that k is common. Okay, I mean k is a real number present over there, so that real number can be taken out. I hope you are getting my point. Just let me explain you. Suppose we are having cos of 2 pi plus I sin 2 pi. By De Moivre's theorem, what you can do, you can relate it to cos of k theta plus I sin k theta. You can say value of k is 2 over here. So by De Moivre's theorem, this 2 can be taken to the power. Okay, so it can be written as cos pi plus I sin pi raised to what? 2. Is that okay? See the right hand side, it is cos theta plus I sin theta raised to k, and it is the same k that is present over here, and this is true for real number k. Okay, so now this formula will be essential for us to introduce a notation among the roots of this roots of the polynomial x raised to n is equal to 1. Now we already know that this is our alpha 0, this is our alpha 1, and this is our alpha 2. Now focus on alpha 2. You can see that over here we are having 4 pi, over here we are having 4 pi. So we have to use De Moivre's theorem. So by De Moivre's theorem, what we can do is we can take this 4 out to the power, right? I mean, we can write it as cos of pi by n plus I sin pi by n raised to 4. But this doesn't give me anything special. Okay, so I want something special. Special in the sense, whatever value I get over here, that should be related to alpha 1, isn't it? Now you already know the value of alpha 1 is like this. Okay, so this value should appear here. Okay, so which value I should take to the power? Over here I have taken 4, right? So 4 सोडून कोणती व्हॅल्यू घेतल्यानंतर आपल्याला या ब्रॅकेट मध्ये अल्फा 1 दिसेल? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन, and the obvious answer is 2. So if you take only 2 out, okay, मग इथे 2 राहील का नाही? Okay, if I take only 2 out side, because this 4 can be written as 2 multiplied by 2, so power ला फक्त मी 2 घेतला, मग आत काय राहिला? cos 2 pi n plus I sin 2 pi n, and this is done with the help of De Moivre's theorem. Now you can see that this is nothing but what? Alpha 1, isn't it? Cos 2 pi upon n plus I sin 2 pi upon n. So how we can write this? Alpha 2 can be written as this is equal to cos of 2 pi upon n plus I sin 2 pi upon n raised to 2, right? And I will call this alpha 1 as omega. Not exactly alpha 1, but this cos 2 pi upon n plus I sin 2 pi upon n, याला मी ओमेगा म्हणतो. याला जर मी ओमेगा म्हटलं, now this is our omega, right? So what will be our alpha 2? Our alpha 2 will be omega square. Observe carefully. And how can you write 1? 1 can be written as omega raised to 1, or you can say w raised to 1. Okay, w raised to 0. So now what about alpha 3? Okay, so your alpha 3 will be cos of 6 pi upon n. Just I am putting the value of m as 3, so it will be cos of 6 pi upon n plus I sin 6 pi upon n. So again I want this w in picture. So again by using De Moivre's theorem, now I will take 3 out, right? Because if I take 6 out, I will not get w in the bracket, right? So cos of 2 pi upon n plus I sin 2 pi upon n raised to what? 3, and this term is nothing but what? It is the w. So therefore this is equal to what? W cube. Is that fine? So I got alpha 2 to be w square, I got alpha 3 to be w cube, and if I continue in this way, what will be my alpha n minus 1 then? Okay, so by continuing in this way, my alpha n minus 1 will be omega raised to n minus 1. So what is the meaning of this? So the meaning is nth roots of unity, they are alpha 0, alpha 1 up to alpha n minus 1, can be written as, how can you write them? Omega raised to 0, omega raised to 1, omega square, continuing up to omega raised to n minus 1, where what is our omega? Where omega is cos of 2 pi upon n plus I sin 2 pi upon n. Now we are going to move towards the examples. Okay, but before that, let us see this theorem that sum of nth roots of unity is always equal to 0. Okay, now what do you mean by sum of nth roots of unity is equal to 0? Okay, now we have already proved that our nth roots of unity are omega raised to 0, omega raised to 1 plus so on omega raised to n minus 1. त्यांची सम जी आहे that is nothing but what? That is equal to 0, that we have to prove. Okay, so just note that this all are roots of which equation? This omega, omega raised to 1 and omega raised to n minus 1 are roots of x raised to n is equal to 1. Since these are the roots of this polynomial, so they are going to satisfy that polynomial. Satisfy in the sense what? What is going to happen? Now this omega raised to 0 is nothing but 1. So you simply put omega raised to 0 in the left hand side, and on the right hand side you are getting 1. So you can easily verify that. So if I put x is equal to omega raised to 0, that is 1, you will get 1 raised to n, which is 1, that is exactly the right hand side. Similarly, that omega, this is also going to satisfy this equation, x raised to n is equal to 1. Therefore we are going to have omega raised to n is 1. Similarly, we will have omega raised to 2n is 1, because omega square will also satisfy it, and this will be continued. Okay, but for this theorem this will be required, that is omega raised to n is equal to what? 1. So just keep it in mind. Now in order to prove sum of nth roots of unity is equal to 0, we are going to use one formula. Okay, we know what is our 1 minus omega raised to n. I am talking about the formula only, and it is nothing but 1 minus omega inside the bracket 1 plus omega square plus so on plus omega raised to n minus 1. I think you might have come across this formula somewhere before. So therefore what will be the value of 1 plus omega square plus so on plus omega raised to n minus 1? It will be 1 minus omega raised to n upon 1 minus omega. But what is omega raised to n? It is 1. So 1 minus 1 upon 1 minus omega, since omega raised to n is equal to 1. That fact we are using. Okay. So 1 minus 1 is going to be what? 0. So in the numerator you are going to have 0. So therefore this will be equal to 0, and that is what we wanted to prove. Therefore sum of nth roots of unity is equal to what? 0. Okay, now let us see few notes, because this will be essential in solving the examples on nth roots of unity. So first of all, we should know that cos of pi, cos of 3 pi, cos of 5 pi is always going to be minus 1. I mean cos of odd multiple of pi is always going to be minus 1. This is also true on the negative side. I mean cos of minus pi, cos of minus 3 pi is also what? Minus 1. Next thing is cos of 0, cos of 2 pi, which is equal to cos of 4 pi. All these values are going to be 1. Means cos of even multiples of pi is always going to be 1. This is also true on the negative side. Next is sin 0, sin pi, sin 2 pi, sin 3 pi is directly equal to 0. This is also true for negative values. Okay. Now these two formulas will be essential that we are going to use. That is cos of a plus b is nothing but cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, and cos of a minus b is nothing but cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. And what is sin of a plus b? Sin of a plus b is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b, and sin of a minus b is sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. Now next is this table will be required. This in fact this diagram will be required for us um, in order to find the nth roots of unity. So whenever you are having some theta in the second quadrant, you write it in the form of pi minus theta. Whenever you are having your theta in the third quadrant, we are going to write it in the form of pi plus theta. And whenever our angle or argument will be in fourth quadrant, we are going to write it in the form of 2 pi minus theta. And whenever it is in the first quadrant, no need of doing any adjustment, we are going to keep it as it is, because this will be required in order to solve the examples. Now let us move towards the example. So the example is find square roots of unity. So finding square roots of unity is nothing but what? Finding the roots of the polynomial x square is equal to 1. Find x square is equal to 1. So here our value of n is nothing but what? 2. So I'll say square roots of unity are given by, so they are given by which formula? Cos of 2m pi, since value of n is 2, so it will be upon 2. Since our formula is 2m pi upon n plus I sin 2m pi upon n, so it will be plus I sin 2m pi upon 2, where m varies from 0 to n minus 1, but since value of n is 2, will go up to 1 only, so m is equal to 0 and 1. Now we already know the roots of this polynomial. What are they? Plus or minus 1. So let us see whether we get it with the help of this formula or not. So this 2 and 2 will get cancelled out over here. So this will be equal to cos of m pi plus I sin m pi, where m is equal to 0 and 1. So for m is equal to 0, we will get our first root and we are calling it as alpha 0, which is equal to cos 0 plus I sin 0. And what is cos 0? It is 1. And what is sin 0? It is 0. So alpha 0 is 1. So we got one root. Now our expected answer is we should have minus 1, right, for alpha 1. So let us see whether we get minus 1 or not. So for m is equal to 1, alpha 1 is equal to, it will be cos of pi plus I sin pi, but cos of pi is minus 1 and sin of pi is 0, so this will be equal to minus 1, and that is what our expected answer was. This was simple, right? So these are the roots actually. Okay, these are required roots. Now we will move towards next example where we have to find cube roots of unity, and this is interesting now. Okay, so in order to find roots of x cube is equal to 1, we have the formula, right? So here value of n is 3. So I'll say cube roots of unity are given by what? Cos of, now since value of n is 3, so 2m pi upon 3 plus I sin 2m pi upon 3, where your m will start from 0 and go up to n minus 1, that is 2. So 0, 1 and 2. So for m is equal to 0, what will be your alpha 0? So it will be cos of 0 plus I sin 0, and it is going to be 1 only as done before. Now if you put m is equal to 1, you are going to get alpha 1. Now this is little bit challenging. Okay, so for m is equal to 1, alpha 1 will be cos of 2 pi upon 3 plus I sin 2 pi upon 3. So how to find this value? That is the question. So then we have to think, where does this 2 pi upon 3 lie? So if you think of 2 by 3, so what is 2 by 3? 0 point what? So 0 0.6 something, right? 0 0.666, I guess. So it lies in which quadrant? So it lies over here, right, in the second quadrant. So we are going to write it, write 2 pi by 3 actually in the form of 2 pi minus theta. So I'll say which is equal to cos of pi minus theta plus I sine pi minus theta, where what is pi minus theta? 2 pi by 3, and we have to find this value of theta. So which value of theta we will get after solving this? So theta will be equal to pi minus 2 pi by 3, and it will be 3 pi minus 2 pi, that is pi upon 3. So therefore your alpha 1 will be what? Cos of pi minus, and what is our theta? Pi by 3 plus I sine pi minus pi by 3, right? Now we are supposed to use the formula of cos of a minus b and cos of sine of a minus b, and we have to find that values. Okay, so I'll call it as sum 1. Now this cos of a minus b is given as cos a cos b cos b plus sin a sin b. Now we already know that this sine of pi is 0 and cos of pi is minus 1, so this will be minus cos of pi by 3, which is equal to. But what is cos of pi by 3? Since we have already done the table for that purpose, so we'll see what is the value of cos of pi by 3. So it is half, isn't it? So this will be then minus half, right? I'll call it as sum 2, and now we are going to find sine of pi minus pi by 3, which will be sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. So sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. Now sin pi is 0, cos pi is minus 1, so it will be sine of pi by 3. And what is sine of pi by 3? We'll go back and check it. So sine of pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. So this will be equal to root 3 by 2. I'll call it as 3. Now we are going to use this value of sine and cos, that is 2 and 3 in 1. So I'll say use 2 and 3 in 1, and therefore we'll get alpha 1. So alpha 1 will be minus half plus I root 3 by 2. Now we have to find the value of alpha 2. So in order to get alpha 2, we have to put the value of ms2. Now our alpha 2 will be equal to, so if you put your value of ms2, what you are going to get? So if you put ms2, it will be cos of 4 pi upon 3 plus I sine 4 pi upon 3. Okay, cos of 4 pi upon 3 plus I sine 4 pi. Okay, and so again we don't know the value of cos of 4 pi upon 3. Obviously we can calculate on the calcs, but calcs are not allowed in the exam, so we don't know how to do it. So again we are supposed to express it in the form of this, either pi minus theta, pi plus theta, or 2 pi minus theta, because it is clear that it is not in first quadrant. So we have to check where that 4 pi upon 3 lies. Okay, so there is one more way to check it. You know that pi stands for 180 degrees, so pi multiplied by 180 upon 3 असंही करू शकता. So 3 1s are 3, and it is 3 6 are 18, so 6 4s are, it is 240, I guess. And where does 240 lie? So this is 90, this is 180, and this is 270, and this is 360, or you can say 0 also, right? So 240 lies here, so therefore we are supposed to express that 4 pi by 3 in the form of pi plus theta. Okay, so how to write it in the form of pi plus theta, that is the question. So I'll do the rough work over here. It's simply the rough work. So we have to write this 4 pi by 3 in the form of pi plus theta. So let us find out the value of theta. So my theta will be 4 pi by 3 minus pi, and it will be 4 pi minus 3 pi. So 4 pi minus 3 pi is pi, so it will be pi upon 3. So we got the value of theta as pi by 3. So you can express this 4 pi by 3 as cos of pi plus pi by 3. डायरेक्टली केलं तरी चालेल, हे फक्त मी समजण्यासाठी हे कॅल्क्युलेशन्स केले. I sine pi plus pi by 3. Now rest of the things I leave it to you. Okay, so you can do the calculations and find the answer. So now I will directly write down the answer here. Okay, you can do the calculations, and the answer is minus half minus I root 3 by 2. Now just check one thing. uh, we got now cube roots of unity. So what are our cube roots of unity? They are alpha naught, alpha 1 and alpha 2. So this was our alpha naught, that was 1. Our alpha 1 was this, and this was our alpha 2. Now just verify one thing, that alpha naught plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 will be 0. Okay, so because we have proved the theorem that sum of nth roots of unity is equal to 0. So alpha naught plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Let us check whether really we get it to be 0 or not. So alpha 0 was 1 plus alpha 1 was minus half plus I root 3 by 2, and our alpha 2 is minus half minus I root 3 by 2. So if you do the calculations, this will be equal to this, and this will get cancelled out. It will be 1. Now minus half and minus half will be minus 1 again, and this is equal to 0. So that is the meaning of the theorem actually. So whatever your roots of unity are there, their sum is always equal to 0. Now let us go for finding fourth roots of unity, and then we'll go for sixth roots of unity as well. Now note that fifth root of unity is missing because we don't know the standard values. We know the standard values. Which standard values we are knowing? We have drawn the table for that, right? Pi by 6, pi by 4, pi by 3 and pi by 2. Therefore we have seen second root of unity due to this 2. We have seen third root of unity. We are seeing fourth root of unity now, and directly we will see sixth root of unity. Fifth root of unity is missing because we don't know the standard values of sine and cos for pi upon 5. Okay, that is the meaning. Otherwise, if you are having calculus, then definitely you can find fifth roots of unity also. There is no problem for that. And remember that this roots of unity is having a geometrical meaning also. So all these roots are lying on the circle x square plus y square is equal to 1. So you can verify that, as I have already told you in the prerequisite, that how to represent a complex number in a complex plane. So you can check, you know, this that this is a circle somewhat like this, centered at origin, right, and radius 1. So all our roots are going to lie on this circle. Okay, this nth roots of unity, you can check it. Okay, for example, I will tell you 1 आणि -1 कुठे होता बघा. 1 आणि -1 स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ युनिटी होता, राईट. सो 1 इथे आला आपला एक्स ॲक्सिस वरती, -1 इथे आला, isn't it? Now you can check for cube roots of unity also. Okay, and your cube roots of unity will also lie on this circle only somewhere. Just you have to do that graphical representation. Okay, so now we will go for fourth roots of unity. Now finding fourth roots of unity is nothing but finding the roots of the polynomial x raised to 4 is equal to 1. Now I'll not go in details, I'll directly write down the formula. The fourth roots of unity are given by cos of we are going to put value of n as 4, right? So 2m pi upon 4 plus I sine 2m pi upon 4, where this value of m varies from 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now one by one we'll put the values, but you can easily do the calculation. This will be 2 1 the 2 and 2 to the 4. Okay, so this is same as cos of m pi upon 2 and plus I sine m pi upon 2. So for m is equal to 0, your alpha 0 will be 1, that you can easily verify. So for m is equal to 2, for m is equal to 1, your alpha 1 will be cos of pi by 2 plus I sine pi by 2. Now sine pi by 2 is 1 and cos pi by 2 is 0. So it is 0 plus I multiplied by 1, and that is nothing but I. Now we will go for alpha 2. So for m is equal to 2, your alpha 2 will be cos of pi plus I sin pi, right? Now sin pi is 0, cos pi is -1, so this is -1. And now for m is equal to 3, you will have cos 3 pi by 2, I guess. So for m is equal to 3, alpha 3 will be cos of 3 pi by 2 plus I sin 3 pi by 2. And you know that this 3 pi by 2 can be written as pi plus pi by 2, so which is equal to cos of pi plus pi by 2 plus I sin pi plus pi by 2. Now again you can use the formula cos a plus b and sin a plus b, and you'll find that this value you are going to get it as minus I. Okay, that can be done by you. Okay, minus I, right? Yeah. So these are square roots of unity, and again you can not square root, fourth roots of unity, and you can see that the sum of these roots is going to be 0, because 1 and -1 will get cancelled out, and this I and minus I will get cancelled out, and you will see that the sum is 0. Now the 6 roots of unity I leave it to you. This is for homework.